Assalamu alaikum, family. This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are having a blessed, wonderful day. Hope you're doing well out there. Many parts of the country, well, we're having a beautiful day out here in the Bay Area. It's in the mid 70s. But I know in the Midwest and the East Coast, it's a little chilly. So just steadfast, y'all. Y'all be all right. Your warmer days are coming. Trust me, they're coming. So, sorry that y'all have to turn y'all heat on. My condolences. No, but for real. But sorry to hear that y'all gotta turn y'all heat on. But like I said, that won't last forever because, like I said, warmer days are coming. And the likelihood that you're having one of those days, always remember this: tough times don't last. Tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. So, get into the topic for this video. On yesterday, May 19th, it was Brother Malcolm X's birthday. He would have been 100 years old had he, been with us. 100 years, a whole century. He was taken away from us on February 21st, 1965, at the young age of 39. 3 months shy of his 40th birthday. 3 months shy of his 40th birthday. February 21st, 1965, at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem. And of course, the media and pointing fingers at the Nation of Islam for the death of Brother Malcolm, which has been debunked in this book right here by Brother Dimitri Muhammad. Great brother. But didn't you kill Malcolm? Myth busting the propaganda against the Nation of Islam. I bought this book 4 years ago. It came out back in 2021. And like I said, it debunks the lies that the Nation of Islam were responsible for the death of Brother Malcolm. There were three entities that were responsible for his death: the FBI, the CIA, and the NYPD. The FBI, the CIA, and the New York Police Department all were responsible for the death of Brother Malcolm. When Brother Malcolm was shot, he was shot in the chest and the torso. You can see photos of it. There's a brother who's giving him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. First of all, when a victim is suffering gunshot wounds to the chest, you don't give them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. You don't do that. That chokes them because they can't breathe. The blood is recirculating. And the brother who was giving him mouth to mouth was an undercover New York Police Department, was an undercover New York cop. Forgot his name. But you don't give mouth to mouth resuscitation when a victim is suffering a gunshot wounds to the chest. You don't do that. No, you do not do that. And he knew it, but he was trying to suffocate Brother Malcolm. The One of the shooters admitted to the murder, but another one, the two that they charged along with the actual shooter, they weren't even in the vicinity. They were nowhere to be found. They were in New Jersey. They weren't even in Harlem, but they picked them up and they were charged and they spent 20 years in prison. There was one shooter and there was another guy out of Jersey. Can't think of his name, but he passed away not so long ago. I think maybe a couple years ago. Who was also one of the other shooters, but he got away scot free. He was living in Newark, New Jersey, 15, 20 minutes away from Manhattan, just living his life. Never was charged, never was sent to prison. But the people who, two men who were innocent, spent time in prison, as the actual shooter did, who admitted to it. And Malcolm X's daughter, Elisa, she admitted, she said that the Nation of Islam didn't have anything to do with her father's murder. She said this much. She said that they didn't have anything to do with my father's murder. Not a thing to do with it. Before I go any further, it's a flyer here. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. But yeah, so and all this time we these lies have been told that the Nation of Islam killed Brother Malcolm, that there was a rift between the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Brother Malcolm. It was a rift between him and the Nation of Islam. Well, Brother Malcolm left the Nation of Islam. He didn't get kicked out the nation. He left on his own free will. He was spreading lies about Mr. Muhammad. Those were lies he was spreading. He was spreading lies about the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger. And he ended up leaving. But now, don't get me wrong, there were brothers in the nation who wanted to F Malcolm up. They did. However, they were given instructions by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, to leave Brother Malcolm and his family alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He will come back. Leave him alone. They were given those specific instructions. Leave him alone. Leave Brother Malcolm alone. Do not touch a head on his hair, even though they wanted to. Leave him alone. Now, some of Malcolm's followers started some static with the brothers in the FOI, and it didn't go well for them. The brothers that started the static, that is. Little skirmishes on the streets. But in Islam, we're taught don't be the aggressor, never be the aggressor, never be the aggressor. But if aggressed upon, you defend yourself. You defend yourself. Even if it's to the death, you defend yourself. Never be the aggressor. We're taught that in Islam. But Brother Malcolm, like I said, he ends up leaving the Nation of Islam and started, what's that organization? What's the name? I'm trying to think of the organization Malcolm started when he left. I'm gonna find it here. Just give me 1 second. It was a OOAU, I think, or something like that. Let me see. Muslim Mosque Incorporated. Yep, that's okay. He left the Nation of Islam and founded the Islamic Muslim Mosque Incorporated, MMI, and the Pan African Organization of Afro American Unity, the OAAU, Organization of African American Unity. And see here on when you Google Malcolm X, it says, now check this out. Throughout 1964, his conflict with the Nation of Islam intensified, and he was repeatedly sent death threats. That kind of, with them saying that, that gives you the impression that the Nation of Islam was sending him death threats. On February 21st, 1965, he was assassinated in New York City. Three Nation members were charged with the murder and given and given in deter, indeterminate life sentences. Indeterminate life sentences. In 2021, just 4 years ago, two of the convictions were vacated. Speculation about the assassination, whether it was conceived or aided by leading or additional members of the nation or with law enforcement agencies, has persisted for decades. Like I said, the Nation of Islam did not have anything to do with Brother Malcolm's assassination. We were told to leave him alone. Leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone. And did you know that right before Malcolm passed, he tried to get back into the Nation of Islam? That's right. Before Brother Malcolm met his demise, he tried to come back to the Nation of Islam. Sure did. They don't want to tell you that. They tell you about the rift between him and the nation, but they don't want to tell you that he tried to come back into the Nation of Islam. He did. Asked for forgiveness, and the messenger told him once he put out those fires that he started, that he could come back in. So he was trying to come back into the nation because he knew that when he was in the nation, no matter what this government was trying to do, it could not touch him. But once he left, he no longer had an army to protect him. He no longer had his father, his teacher to protect him. So he tried to come back in, but unfortunately, he met his demise at the age of 39. May Allah be pleased with him. Also, Elijah Muhammad saved his life. For 12, 13 years, he was the national representative of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He was telling this country the truth to its face, telling this devil the truth. And they could not handle Brother Malcolm. He was so elegant, so smooth, and he was telling this government the truth to her face. Was telling black people, defend yourself by any means necessary. He wasn't talking about integration. He was teaching for us to separate, not to integrate, separate. Why do you want to integrate with the enemy who bombs you, who murders you, who rapes you, who castrates you, lynches you, maims you, all these things? Why would you want to integrate with that enemy? Why? No, separate. We cannot find peace among our enemy. We still can't, even in 2025. We still can't find peace among our enemy. But you have Negroes now who want to integrate, want to integrate. Malcolm was teaching what the messenger taught him: black love, do for self. Stop begging this man for a job. Stop begging this man for opportunity. Do for self. Self preservation. Do for self. Love your own. Who taught you to hate your skin color? Who taught you to hate your nose, the texture of your skin? Who taught you? He was teaching against self-hate and teaching self-love, love of self, do for self, start your own, build your own, love your own. That's not hate teaching. That's love teaching. Other communities teach their people the same thing. But when black people do it, it's hate. It's hate. It's hate. Y'all notice that? It's hate. That's what Brother Malcolm was teaching us. But the movie that Spike Lee did, it did not do the Nation of Islam justice. Now, I have to admit, Denzel Washington did an excellent job portraying Brother Malcolm. He did an outstanding job. He should have received an Oscar for it. But we know he wasn't going to receive an Oscar for that movie. But Denzel Washington did the best portrayal of Brother Malcolm. The best portrayal. The best. There will never be another portrayal of that excellent level of Malcolm X to top Denzel Washington. There will never be one. Denzel did it impeccable job. Impeccable. The way he moved, the way he looked. Like my mother said, it's like the spirit of Malcolm came upon him. It did. He looked like Brother Malcolm. The way he was praying in the mosque, the way he spoke, moved, walked, impeccable job. But the way they portray the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as a hateful old man, I didn't like that. Now the brother that played Elijah Muhammad looked just like him. He did look just like him. Sounded like him. You tell the brothers. I think the brother is coming along. Sounds like Elijah Muhammad, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, excuse me, the messenger. He did a great job of portraying him. But the way that how they had him, that he somehow was kicked out of the Nation of Islam when he was suspended. He was given 90 days. He was given 90 days where he couldn't speak, and then he leaves the nation, and next thing his phone is ringing off the hook. If people didn't know better, they would think the nation was trying to kill Brother Malcolm. And that's the problem I have with the movie X. That's the problem I have with Spike Lee's portrayal about that incident. Spike Lee is a great director. I'm a fan of Spike Lee, but that really that bothered me because for a few seconds you show two white men following him around Cairo. You show two white men listen to his phone calls, but that's it. Why were they following him around Egypt? Why would they listen to his phone calls? But you put too much emphasis on the nation taking him out. And I didn't like that. Even the Godfather of Harlem, even the Godfather of Harlem, the show that's on Amazon now, they even show how they even portray how the government tried to kill him in Egypt. They tried to kill him in Cairo, Egypt. That's right. The government, the CIA, they hired or there was a waiter or something that brought food to Brother Malcolm, and it was poisoned. That's right. He was poisoned in Cairo, Egypt. Got food poisoning, almost died, but he didn't. He didn't die. Did not die. So they tried it the second time. This time it was the feds, the CIA and the NYPD, and they succeeded. What's the old saying? If at first you don't succeed, try again. Well, they tried the second time and they succeeded, unfortunately. And people do not realize that there were stool pigeons there were that were set up in the Nation of Islam. COINTELPRO was set up. They had little operatives in the Nation of Islam. They did. Assalamu alaikum. Now, everybody who say Assalamu alaikum and do the greetings and pray. Now, all of them are real. They're hypocrites. And again, the federal government infiltrated the Nation of Islam, especially during that time. And what a perfect time to do it because it was a rift between the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and Brother Malcolm. The Black Panther Party was infiltrated. SNCC, the late great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s organization, was infiltrated. Every Black organization has been infiltrated. Name me one that hasn't. As great as the Nation of Islam is, and it's the greatest organization ever, and it's stronger now more than ever before, it was infiltrated back in the 1960s. Yes, it was. As great as it was, as great as it is, I should say, as great as the nation is, it was infiltrated. We know, again, the Black Panther Party, SNCC, the NAACP, the National Urban League. All these organizations have been infiltrated. Dr. King had infiltrators in the federal government among his own people, his own following. That's how they were able to get close to him and kill him. The federal government, that is. That's how Chairman that's how Chairman Fred Hampton was assassinated in Chicago because there was COINTELPRO, there was an operative amongst his people. That's how he was able to get taken out. And Spike Lee knew this, but Warner Brothers pushed the movie. And what they say about those who own and have their rights, they get to tell the story how they see fit. And Warner Brothers, who are Jews, they hated the Nation of Islam. They still do. They hated the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. They hated the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They hated Brother Malcolm when he was alive. The Jews hated Brother Malcolm, hated him. So why would they tell the truth? What purpose would it serve them? I'm telling you, the Zionists and the United States government, they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Why would they tell the story the way how it really went down? Why would they? But Spike Lee wanted to tell the story about Malcolm X, but it didn't. It was it was so many lies in that movie. Brother Malcolm found out about Islam, the Nation of Islam, through his brother Reginald, not through brother Baines. The Sidney character that was with brother Malcolm in the movie, that was supposed to be the Honorable Minister was Farrakhan. There was no such character as Sidney. That was supposed to be the Honorable I'm sorry, the Honorable Minister was Farrakhan. There was no such character as Sidney, as brother Baines. Malcolm X's older brother Reginald joined the Nation of Islam, and he told Malcolm about it. Again, the Sidney character that was supposed to be the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but for whatever reason, they made up this character. Malcolm X had gone to Mecca back in the 50s. His first time going to Mecca wasn't in 1964. That's not true. He had went to Mecca a few times, I think 2 or 3 times in the 50s. I know he had gone in 1959, I think, and in 1953. I think that was his first time going was in 53, but he had gone in 59. So he had been to Mecca before. He had made Hajj. This is all fallacies. And this is what bothers me about it because the truth is out there. Oh, I want to read something. It's on the back of this book right here, on the back cover. This is from Malcolm's secretary, Sarah Mitchell. Sarah Mitchell, secretary of Malcolm X, revealing the contents of Malcolm's last conversation. I'm going to read this to you. This is on the back cover of this book right here. Get this book. It's on noi.org. Get it there. Don't get it on Amazon. Get that money to the Nation of Islam. It'd be greatly appreciated. Support Black. During his final hours, Malcolm spoke of plans for explaining to the general public how hasty and mistaken he had been in accusing Black Muslims of bombing his home. I'm going to read that again. During his final hours, Malcolm spoke of plans for explaining to the general public how hasty and mistaken he had been in accusing Black Muslims of bombing his home. He said, "You won't find a single instance where Muslim men ever moved to attack women and children. I know their tactics and their limitations. And I'm telling you, things happening to me these past weeks go beyond the realm of the Muslims." Malcolm was convinced that a conspired maneuver was already in motion, whereby, if anything happened to him, Elijah and his organization would be blamed. I'm going to read that last sentence again. Malcolm was convinced that a conspired maneuver was already in motion, whereby, if anything happened to him, Elijah and his organization would be blamed, and they were, and they still are to this day. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Brother Malcolm, that's from his secretary, Sarah Mitchell. Brother Malcolm's daughter said in the video that the Nation of Islam had nothing to do with her father's murder. I have the video on my timeline on Facebook. It's out there. So for y'all to and we live in a day of we live in a day and age where you can find information at your fingertip on your phones, right on these phones right here, on these computers, on a iPad, anywhere you can find information. It's at your fingertip. It's readily available. You don't have to go to the library or dig in an encyclopedia somewhere or order Encyclopedia Britannica to find information now, or go to some library and spend hours there, your public library. even though you should be going to your library. But I digress. There's no excuse to be willfully ignorant. There is no excuse at all to be willfully stupid and ignorant. The information is out there, y'all. Do the research. Y'all research everything else. Y'all research the stuff going on with Diddy, going on with Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion, with Chris Brown. Everything was going on with these damn celebrities. Y'all research that in and every day. So why don't you research the truth? It's out there. Cop this book. It's out there. Like I said, and I will keep saying it, and people still regurgitate this lies. And Spike Lee didn't do the Nation of Islam any favors with that movie because it just perpetuated that fact even more that people believe that the Nation of Islam was responsible for the death of Brother Malcolm. That is a bold-faced lie. It's okay to love Brother Malcolm, but how can you love Brother Malcolm and hate the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad? If it wasn't for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, there would have never been a Brother Malcolm. There would never have been a Brother Malcolm if it wasn't for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. How can y'all love the fruit but hate the tree? The most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the tree. Brother Malcolm was the fruit. How can you love him but hate his teacher? How can you love Muhammad Ali but hate his teacher? How can you love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and hate his teacher? Let me be very clear on this. If it weren't for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, there would have been no Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. There wouldn't be a Muhammad Ali. There wouldn't be a Brother Malcolm. There wouldn't be a Nation of Islam. Am I right or am I absolutely right? And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, received his blessings from his teacher, God Himself, Master Fard Muhammad. I said his name wrong. Master Fard Muhammad, who revealed himself, who was Allah revealed in person. Master Fard Muhammad. I got to practice his first name, so please forgive me. Who revealed himself as God in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. And his messenger was the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And again, without the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, there would have been no Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. There would be no Muhammad Ali. There would be no Brother Malcolm. None of these brothers would have ever been able to do the work that they've done without their teacher. So you can't love the fruit and hate the tree. It makes no sense. Just like loving to eat an apple or an orange, or hating apple trees and orange trees. The tree produced a product. How you gonna hate it? How you gonna love to eat an apple or love to eat an orange, but hate apple trees and orange trees? Make that make sense. The tree produces the fruit. Am I clear on that? Does that make sense to you? But we have these people out here. I love Brother Malcolm. I love Minister Farrakhan. I love Muhammad Ali, but I hate Elijah Muhammad. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's their teacher. And yes, Brother Malcolm's understudy was the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That was his understudy. If you look at old photos of Brother Malcolm, there's a few out there. You have the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Brother Malcolm, and Brother Louis X, who later became Minister Louis Farrakhan, or the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But back then he was Brother Louis X. A young Brother Louis X. Those three. And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said many times that the day that Malcolm was assassinated, his heart was broken. He loved that brother. But what they didn't love and what they hated was that he went to Mike Wallace on CBS and told lies about his teacher. Told lies about his teacher to Mike Wallace on CBS. Lord have mercy. Malcolm was confused and got bad information, but he tried to right his wrong. And here, yes, I have a picture of him on this shirt here, Brother Malcolm right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. My wife got this shirt for me, I think 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when her and my mother-in-law took a trip to New York. So yes, love Brother Malcolm. Love the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, of course, the messenger. Love the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. You can love all three. There's nothing wrong with that. It's possible. But you also got to know the truth. And Spike Lee's movie did not do us any favors. Because I said there were so many fallacies in that movie. But when you don't own your own movie company, your own the film industry, your own production company, then you don't get to tell the story the way you can tell it. Warner Brothers is owned by Jews. Warner Brothers, they are Jews, and they own their distribution. So when you don't own your distribution company, they get to tell the narrative, even if it's false. And there were a lot of fallacies in that movie, a lot of falsehoods. Again, the Brother Baines character, the Sydney character, how they left the impression that the Nation of Islam ordered the assassination of Brother Malcolm. That's a lie, a bold-faced lie. And again, it's been debunked in this book right here. NOI.org is where you can get that book. May Allah be pleased with Brother Malcolm. 100 years. He'd been 100 years on yesterday. May Allah be with his surviving children, surviving daughters, family members. May Allah be with them. Wow. So, wow. I wonder what Brother Malcolm would have been like at 100 years old. Something. We would never know. We got cheated out of this enemy took our great leaders from us. Dr. King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Chairman Fred Hampton, Huey Newton, Stokely Carmichael. So many great leaders gone too soon. What was Stokely Carmichael? What did he change his name to? Let me see here. I used to remember it. Kwame Ture. That's right, Kwame Ture, formerly Stokely Carmichael. All our great leaders are gone. May Allah be pleased with them. I won't hop off of here, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. I know there are going to be some who disagree with me, and that's fine. That's fine and dandy. You know, that's your right. But in our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, respect, and facts, not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. And we also got to learn to agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Agreeing to disagree without being disagreeable. Let's do that. Share this video, share it. Let's have the conversation. Support my YouTube channel here, my future projects. It'd be greatly appreciated. I cannot do these without y'all love and support. So please continue to love and support your brother. Please continue to do that. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications of whenever I do videos on here. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out here. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. So please beware and be aware. Whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your children off at school, picking them up, running errands, on vacation, no matter what you're doing, wherever the case, beware and be aware. I love y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. And y'all have a blessed rest of your day. All right, y'all, I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.